Side news for Honda, a car maker here. So there has been report, which has been reported according to CNET.com, that there's have been a recall of 1.4 million vehicles due to several issues, which is kind of alarming. Imagine that 1.4 million cars having to be recalled. If you're one of the owners of this model, which I'll discuss in a little bit, you are warned here. So for your safety, make sure to return those vehicles. And what are those problems? So is it critical? Yeah. If you think about it, because they could catch fire, which is could be deadly, could cause an accident, not just to yourself, but to other motorists here. So the 1.2 million, we were just talking about it in what do you call this? In previous live stream regarding the Kia recall. You have Tesla and other car manufacturers. What's going on with those car manufacturers? How come they're not thoroughly testing the different components that goes into a vehicle? Because obviously they spend a lot of R&D, research and development, in improving, making the processes, the vehicles more efficient, more fuel efficient, and so forth. But obviously the safety is another component here. And how come they're not able to detect this? Because is it because they're too focused on churning out more vehicles so they can sell to the market? Well, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Honda failed to recall several of their vehicles due to power window switches. So you might think power window problem is not an issue, but it could catch fire, electrical fires. So that's an issue. Then there's faulty body control modules and corroding drive shafts, which can fail and obviously can be catastrophic if you're driving when that happens. So let's see what are those particular models so everyone can see. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's start off. So the first model that I mentioned, so that's between 2002 to 2006. That's the Honda CRV. So if you own one of those vehicles, or in this case the Honda CRV as I mentioned, the SUV has a feature of failing power window switches due to moisture entering the area. So if it rains a lot in your area, or if it does rain, it accumulates moisture, the wires may dampen, which may melt or totally fail. And in worst case scenario, there's a chance of interior fire, which we don't want that to happen. Engine fire is one thing, but interior fire could be even deadly. Just imagine, like in an airplane, if it's enclosed and fire will suddenly burst, you have a few seconds to react, and if you can't react in time, that could be deadly, and could cost lives here. There has been, there have been 23 reports of fires and incident. Thankfully, there hasn't been any fatalities here. So another mention here is the issue of the body control module, or the BCM, failure of some handful of cars, particularly the Accord and the Accord hybrid models here. So from 2018 and 2020, so the most recent purchases here for the past few years. So if you own one, you're warned. Another model that they mentioned here is the 2019-2020 Insight Honda model here. So the problem here is more on the BCM software problem, which can lead to a host of vehicle malfunction. So the windshield wipers that don't work can have broken defrosters. So especially if you're in the northern regions that has snow here, you're going to have a terrible experience here. Then you have inoperable rear view camera. So for other countries it's standard to have a rear view camera. For others it's not. So you can just imagine the convenience of having a rear view camera for reverse parking, to see any obstructions at the back when driving, for safety purposes. If it's not available, it could, accidents can happen. And then the exterior lights that won't flick on, which is, from a personal experience, not having lights, especially at night, and when you try to turn on the switch and it's not working, it's kind of scary, because people at the back or at any point, the side or in front, can't see you, and it could cause damage or significant fatalities, and cause other motorists to be in an accident as well here. So it's not just that. Another model that they mentioned here is the Acura ILX and the ILX hybrid. That was released way back in 2013 to 2015. So it's a bit older, but you know, it has a plethora of issues as well. Another is the 2012 Civic Hybrid, which was really for the year of 2012. And then another model is the Honda Fit 27, 2007, 2008. These all have issues if you near somewhere near the sea where the road salts or other contaminants may corrode the drive shaft and cause them to fail. Again, you don't want to happen in the middle of the road when you're driving, and then if it corrodes, it could cause an accident or fatality at worst. So here are some of the states that have been mentioned here. So from Connecticut, Delaware, Washington, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. So if you're mentioned, if you're living in one of these states, you are warned. So return your Honda vehicle so that it can be properly vetted and checked for any fault here. And the question here is, why did Honda did not apply proper protective coating here? Or they're trying to save on cost here, so at the expense of of safety for your consumers here. Now, whose fault is this? Is it decision making or was it by accident here? But either way, when you try to sell a product, especially that can cause harm or can be fatal if an accident were to happen, it's a big responsibility for those car manufacturers to ensure that the products that they sell, that consumers use in the market, is considered technically safe. Otherwise, why sell it in the first place, right? Well, hopefully no significant injuries or accidents can happen here. We'll wait and see what happens there.